the first pick.
Hey everybody, it's Conor Dorney from Just Baseball, live here on day 2 of the 2025 MLB Draft Combine in Phoenix. I'm joined right now by left-handed pitcher Myles Patton from Texas A&M University. Myles, thanks so much for joining me today.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
So how has this combine experience been for you so far? Has it, obviously you're not throwing during this process, but has it kind of lived up to your expectation, or?
Yeah, I mean it's been a really cool experience. Cool seeing so many good players in one area. There's so much talent. It's really cool to see. And I mean, coming out of high school, I wasn't good enough to be at any stuff like this, so it's cool to kind of have those first experiences still.
Yeah. Is it kind of what you imagined it would be, or?
Definitely a lot more going on than I thought it was going to be. I knew it was going to be a lot of stuff going on, but I didn't realize just how hectic everything would be.
Yeah. Now, for some of our viewers who might not be familiar with you, can you kind of give us a little bit about yourself and how you got to this point?
Yeah, I grew up in Southern California. Went to Long Beach State for my first 2 years of college, and transferred to Texas A&M for my junior season. College baseball was an awesome experience, and definitely I'm thankful that that's the path I took. And yeah.
Now transferring, like you mentioned, to A&M, playing your first couple of years at Long Beach State, what kind of went into that decision in terms of finding out what was going to be the best fit for you as you were in the transfer portal?
Yeah, I think the biggest couple things I was looking for is obviously someone who needed kind of a starting pitcher to come in there and fill a role. So that was a big piece for me, kind of in where I was going to have my home be. I think as a coaching staff, I was really intentful with the development and really had a clear plan of how I was going to be developed, and then just be able to execute that. And I think another thing was a winning culture, having a lot of talent, and just having the opportunity to be able to be on a successful team, which was kind of the big 3 things I was really looking for.
And do you feel like, obviously at A&M, the pitching development is well known at this point. Do you feel like the guys, that you were being coached by, coming from the pro side and, understanding kind of the marriage of data, metrics, and everything with how you're performing on the field, do you feel like that was a big selling point for you?
Yeah, absolutely. I think just the amount of resources they invest into the analytic department there, and how successful those guys are and have been is really something special. And I think that was, of course, a big piece for me kind of going there. And I think that was some of the stuff that I could clearly see. Like, a lot of people can tell you, yeah, we're going to make you better, but they really laid out a clear plan of exactly how I was going to get better, which is a big thing for me.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, you obviously faced some great competition, some great hitters in the SEC. Mm-hmm. Who are like some of the ABs, the players in your head that you go back to those ABs and think of, man, this guy was really tough to get out?
Yeah, immediately I think of the LSU right-handed hitter Ethan Fry. He was just tough. I mean, every ball he hit off him was hard. There's a lot of great hitters in that league. It's tough to point out one when there's a couple on every single team. So I think Fry is a big one that sticks out to me. And then one of my own teammates actually gave me a lot of trouble in the fall, Caden Kent.
Okay.
Yeah. He actually was probably the toughest hitter I faced all year. I think he hit 4 or 5 home runs in the offseason against me. It was tough facing him.
Yeah, he's one of those guys where every time you see him up the plate, he's doing something big for sure.
Yeah, I thought I had an advantage on him left, and I was like, yep. I mean, not that it was just gonna be an easy out or anything, but I thought I maybe had a little advantage, but
yeah,
not even close.
Yeah, he showed you. In terms of, I guess, maybe a player at the big league level or someone, is there anybody that you kind of model your game after?
I think a cool example, it's obviously I got some room to keep going and grow into this, but I think Cole Ragans is a guy, I think some similar stuff, a couple of different shapes that he throws, but I think a big thing is just kind of our frames are pretty similar, and I think his velocity jump from being in professional baseball, I think, was something that I would really like to have. I think that'd be a good thing, and I think that'd be probably one of my guys that I kind of look up to.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, you guys had huge expectations coming into the season. Obviously, you didn't get to where you wanted to be. Went through a lot of adversity. What's kind of, how do you stay focused on the task at hand when you experience moments like that?
Yeah, it can be tough for sure. It can be frustrating, and that's kind of just the story of baseball at every level. It's a game of failure, and you hear that a million times, but it's really, you don't really understand it until you go through it. And I think just having perspective and understanding that, what we get to do is really cool. We get to go play baseball every day. Win or lose, obviously you want to win as much as possible, but at the end of the day, we're playing a kid's game every day. We get to be around some 40 of our best friends that are going to be lifelong friends. it's an awesome experience that we get to have. And I mean, even though I like from team expectation, it wasn't the end goal we wanted. I still had one of the most fun years of my life, just being out there and going through those environments, everything that comes with it. I mean, I think just having that perspective is the biggest thing.
Yeah, that perspective is huge for sure. Now, knowing kind of, we're only less than a month until the draft, nearing the end of the process. Is there any advice or anything you wish you would have known beforehand going in that you felt like would have been helpful throughout this process?
I mean, I think just being yourself is the biggest thing. I mean, it kind of sounds cliche, but just really truly being yourself and just having confidence in who you are and understanding like you're in the position you're in for a reason, and you don't need to try to do anything different because of the competition you're facing. Just be yourself, I think, is the biggest thing. And then, like I just touched on, that perspective, I think is an awesome thing. I think a lot of people look back on their college days, and it's like once they get out of playing baseball, whatever, after the professional or after college, whatever the case is, a lot of people look back and like, oh, it was so stressful. Like that was such a tough time. You put so much pressure on yourself. But like for me, I just want to look back on it and be like, that was such a fun time. Like playing baseball was some of the most fun times of my life, and just being thankful for those moments, I think, is a big thing I would tell my younger self for sure.
Yeah. And what are some of, obviously there's so much focus on what players do on the field at events like this, but what are some of your passions away from the game, and kind of what have you tried to communicate to teams in terms of the person you are off the field?
I mean, off the field, I'm just a pretty chill guy. I mean, really
California kid.
California kid. I like being outside. I like surfing. I like fishing. Anything with the ocean is big for me. I mean, nothing that crazy. Some of the typical stuff like video games and all that, but I think just being outdoors and really enjoying nature, enjoying just being in the sun, like all those little things, I think we kind of take for granted at times, is really important to me.
Yeah. Now, if there's one big leaguer that you could get out today, go on there and strike him out. I know that most of the pitchers I've talked to during this have said Ohtani. I got a Trout answer, but who are you stepping in against?
I mean, it's so crazy to say, but I think I got a good advantage on Harper.
Oh, there you go. There you go. That would be a fun one. That'd be a fun one.
I think I got a good advantage. I think I get a sinker in on him and get some spin off the plate.
There you go. All right, Bryce, if you're hearing this, Myles is right here. He's ready for you. So, all right, Myles Patton, thanks so much for joining me today, and best of luck for the rest of the process.
Thank you. I appreciate that.